Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The same unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipable Shiksha Gurudev. Om Vishnupad, Astotra Sat Shri Shriman, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Astotra Sat Shri Shriman, Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. To all of our Guru Varga and all the assembled devotees. So today is a most auspicious day for all of us, because where would we be if it wasn't for Prabhupada? Nowhere. Yeah, is Vladimir Shakti still out there? Huh?
Damayanti, can you hear?
Yeah.
Can Vladimir Shakti, is she still out there?
Yeah.
She doesn't want to come in? She won't be comfortable inside? It's too claustrophobic?
Where's
Where's
Alison?
I think she is. Okay, she's a
Fresh air, yeah. Okay.
You wanted Alison.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Vladimir Shakti.
Okay. So this program will have two parts. One part is we'll talk a little bit about Guru Tattva and what is the nature of a person like Prabhupada. Then many of my remembrances of Srila Prabhupada. And then in between the remembrances, we'll be showing little video clips of Srila Prabhupada at different times. So Vasanti is so merciful that she will be getting my computer, won't you?
It's hard to see on a little screen.
Well, it'll be hard to see, but it'll be better than not seeing at all. Unfortunately, we don't have our projector. You ladies don't have a projector, right?
No.
Okay. So,
No.
can you get it? Thanks. And then if they have a hard time seeing it, we'll stop it. So first of all, a little bit about Guru Tattva, since Srila Prabhupada is Jagat Guru. Thank you. Krishna says in the Puranas, which are quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Guru should be accepted, the Acharya should be accepted as my very self, as manifestation of my very self. He should not be envied as an ordinary person is envied, because he is the sum total of all the demigods. It's also stated in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 3, or 1, that the Diksha Guru is the manifestation of Krishna's form, and the Shiksha Guru is the manifestation of Krishna's nature, his intrinsic nature. As there's no difference between Krishna's form and nature, there's no difference between Shiksha and Diksha Guru. Tasmad Guru Prabhadyetam Jigyasu Shreya Uttama Shabde Pade Chanisnatyam Brahmani Upasamashrayam. Tasmad Guru Prabhadyetam. One who should approach a bona fide guru, one who's seriously inquisitive to achieve the ultimate goal of life. Jigyasu Shreya Uttama. There's a difference between Shreyas and Preyas. Shreyas is the ultimate benefit, and Preyas is the temporary, short-term benefit. Like a little baby, he sees a very sparkling open safety pin, and he thinks, oh, this looks very bright and shiny, I think I'll eat it. And so you can imagine what happens. So for his short term, he doesn't consider his long term. So Shreyas means one who's serious about the ultimate goal of life. He surrenders to a bona fide guru whose qualities are Shabde Pare Chanisnatyam Brahmani Upasamashrayam. He's realized in the scriptures that is not just theoretical. He has direct perception of Krishna. He can destroy anyone's doubts, and he's free from all material desires and anxieties. Also, what are the qualities of a saintly personality like Srila Prabhupada? Lord Kapila Dev explains to his mother, Devahuti, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that a sadhu or a saint is tolerant, merciful, he's equal to all living beings, he's never disturbed by even the greatest disturbance. Prabhupada gave the example of Lord Jesus, that even when he was being crucified, he had no vengefulness towards his those who were against him, but rather he prayed to the Lord when he was in the middle of being crucified, "Oh, forgive them, Lord, for they don't know what they're doing." And he wasn't at all disturbed. Prahlad Maharaj was thrown in a fire, put under the feet of an elephant, thrown off a cliff, and in a blizzard, in a pit of snakes. He was forced to take poison, but he wasn't disturbed at all in any of the circumstances. So that's the symptom of a sadhu, or a saintly person. Lord Kapila Dev also tells his mother that one who hears my glorification from a sadhu, one with these qualities, that narration becomes very pleasing to his ears and to his heart. And he proceeds on the path of liberation from sadhan bhakti to bhav bhakti to prema bhakti. Also Krishna tells Uddhav in Dwarka that one who has taken the association of a saintly personality, he actually can control me. A saintly personality will destroy all of one's propensities to enjoy the objects of sense gratification. If one takes sannyas, if one gives in charity, even if one observes different vrats, if one performs severe austerities, still that person cannot control me. But a person who has the association of pure devotees, he can control me. It's also stated in the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam that one who goes to the place where the pure devotees are living and hears from them Hari Katha, which is just like a nectar river flowing like honey, that person, when that Hari Katha from the sadhu enters his ears, it takes away all of his needs of hunger and thirst and illusion and unhappiness. Also, Devahuti, after hearing from her son, she said that even if a person associates with the sadhu of that caliber without knowledge, unknowingly, still they get liberated. Therefore, sadhu sangha sarva shastra koi, lava matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoy. All these scriptures say that association with such a sadhu gives one all perfection, even 1/11 of a second of such association. It's also stated in the scriptures that if one has the association of such saints, he can turn death into immortality, emptiness into fullness, and calamity into success. So we had the opportunity to associate. We asked Srila Gurudev actually, how is it that some people who appear to have so much association with Srila Prabhupada in very intimate ways, how is it that now they're acting in such ways that are against bhakti? So Gurudev replied by saying, they didn't really associate with him. They only associated with him externally. So I also had the external association with him. And I'm hoping that by his mercy it'll turn into something internal. So I'll share some of the, as we know, the pure devotee is as hard as a thunderbolt and soft as a rose. So I'll share some of the thunderbolts that I got and some of the roses. I don't know if I mentioned to you that on my on the day of my initiation, I didn't even know the pranam mantras of Prabhupada. So he couldn't say, okay, bow down and say the pranam mantras. But he said, bow down, and then he said Nama, and then I said Nama, and he said Om, and I said Om, Vishnu Padaya, Vishnu Padaya. So that's who he was starting with. And then after this ceremony, we went into the back room. That is, we're going to show you Srila Prabhupada's quarters. Have any of you seen those videos of Srila Prabhupada? These kind of videos? Yes, you've seen?
some.
Acharya series.
Acharya series. Well, they did something new, some combinations of some things. First, which I've never seen before, is Srila Prabhupada at Dr. Mishra's ashram up in Upper New York State, which he was at before he even came to New York, before I met him. And then some clips of those early times, and then gradually his kirtan in San Francisco with all the hippies. So we'll just share that, little bits of that for a few minutes. So then at my initiation, he was saying, he gave me the first 3 volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam, which he had brought from India in a big trunk. He brought so many sets of Srimad Bhagavatam with him. And so I wasn't really ready for initiation, but I took it anyway. So I said to him, if I change my mind, can I give them back? So he just said yes, and went on talking, rather than try and convince me that why should you even think of leaving. And then he asked one of my godbrothers what talent I have. So then he said I was an artist, although I was an extremely terrible artist. So then Srila Prabhupada engaged me in doing one painting of the Sankirtan party of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Did I tell the story at Shamir's place the other night?
No.
No? So he called me up to his room. That is, there was the Matchless Gifts Temple. It happened to have been called Matchless Gifts before Prabhupada moved into it. And then there was the temple, and then there was a courtyard, and behind the courtyard was Prabhupada's quarters. That's where I first met him in Tompkins Square Park, and then about an hour later up in his quarters. So he invited me up to his quarters, and he gave me this 8x10 picture, very, very sweet picture of Mahaprabhu and his associates chanting in the courtyard of Srivas Thakur. And then I made a very big, like 18 by 24 inch painting. And the painting was coming out very bad, just like a child had done it. So I was painting in the temple room, and Srila Prabhupada came down from his quarters, and he was watching me paint, and all of the devotees were surrounding him. And then Prabhupada said, Krishna has sent. You know, like Krishna has sent this great person, even though I was just a drugged out LSD hippie.